so shiri ye. Namo go nama shri ye so ha o namo manju shiri ye. Namo so shiri ye. Namo go nama shri ye so ha. Ye je dang du ge ju na la jang ju ma nu na ne gyab zu je da ge chun ye ge be chon nang ge. Ro la ben je sang ge ju ba jo. 觉当作给中长老，将就摩托当地搞组织，大概去年给别从南给，若拉边界上给中马说，觉当作给中长老，将就摩托当地搞组织，大概去年给别从南给，若拉边界上给中马说，别给休闲没路上，让临时你得给马的，上给许多没得我也，若给南到些马就马说，不然他们到了干的呀，他呀。
Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. Think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind of sentient beings want happiness and do not even want a small suffering, due to mistakenly engaging with objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience any happiness but suffering. In our minds, sincerely cultivate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to have excellent happiness and the causes of excellent happiness that are virtues. May they have excellent happiness and its causes. I will cause them to have excellent happiness and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we cultivate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all mother sentient beings were free from all suffering and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May they be free from all suffering and its causes. I will cause them to be free from all suffering and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we cultivate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take the responsibility. Even though I should take the responsibility, I do not have the ability to place them in the state of perfect, complete enlightenment now. Who has such ability? Those perfect, complete Buddhas have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment. Next, we meditate on the meaning of emptiness for a short while. The self and the aggregates neither exist as inherently one nor as inherently different, thus is empty of inherent existence. Set a good motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I will listen to the holy teaching and practice properly in order to benefit sentient beings. To continue where we left off, verse 78, and under this outlines of, if you don't wish for others' happiness, my own happiness will degenerate. So under this outline, verse 78, it says, furthermore, it is said that others will be happy in this way. If you do not want this happiness, then you should stop giving wages and the like. Thus, you would be adversely affected both in these and future lives. So the condensed meaning of this verse is as the outline suggests. If you don't wish for others' happiness, and my own happiness will degenerate. So this is the condensed meaning of this verse. So the meaning of this verse, if elaborate, then it says, furthermore, it is said, by praising others, others who are objects of praise will also be happy in this way. If you do not want this happiness through praising others, then you must stop giving wages to your servants and the like, since they will be happy. Thus, because of stopping that, you will be adversely affected both in these lives and future lives. Since in these lives, your servants will not work, and in future lives, you will not experience happiness. And this part, your servants will not work, and in later part of your lives, then you will not experience happiness. Since in these lives your servant will not work, and then in future lives, then you will not experience happiness. Yeah. Next outline is, it is appropriate to wish for others' happiness. Under this outline is verse 79. It says, when people describe my own good qualities, I want others to be happy too. But when they describe the good qualities of others, I do not even wish them to be happy.
가wan 대파 힌도 이제되는 한 가와죠. yes 그래도 되죠. 한 대비히 가wan 대파 힌도 이제되는 한 가와죠. yes
So the meaning of this verse is, when people describe my own good qualities, I want others, those who praise me, to have mental happiness too. But I do not wish even those who describe the good qualities of others to be happy. So this is inappropriate and contradictory. So these two are contradictory. So whereby, just as I wish others joy, so this part is the condensed or the summary of this verse. So whereby, just as I wish others joy due to I myself being praised, likewise, I should be joyful due to others being praised. Next outline is abandoning intolerance toward the enemy, accomplishing happiness. Under this outline is verse 80. It says, having generated the minds of enlightenment through wishing all sentient beings to be happy, why do you become angry if sentient beings find happiness themselves? So in this verse, it says that having generated the minds of enlightenment through wishing all sentient beings to be happy, so you generate the minds of enlightenment, bodhicitta, through wishing all sentient beings to be happy and through wishing all sentient beings to be free from suffering. And then why do you angry if one sentient being find happiness himself? So, and you generated the minds of enlightenment or bodhicitta in this way, wishing all sentient beings to be free from suffering and wishing all sentient beings to have excellent happiness. And then you adopt the vows of then you adopt the bodhicitta vow. Then if one sentient beings, if one sentient beings happen to obtain a small happiness, then why are you angry? So this is then why are you not joyful at it? So this is inappropriate. Next outline is, it is appropriate to be joyful in sentient being accomplishing their gains. It is appropriate to be joyful in sentient beings accomplishing their gains. And under this outline is verse 81. It says, if I wish for all sentient beings to become Buddhas worshipped by the three worlds, then why am I tormented due to seeing them receiving just vile gain and honor? So the meaning of this verse is, if I made the commitment and promise, I wish for all sentient beings to become Buddhas who are objects worshipped by the three worlds. Three worlds refer to the underground, those sentient beings underground, those sentient beings who live on the ground, and those sentient beings who live above ground. So if I wish for all sentient beings to become Buddhas, who are objects to be venerated by the three worlds, then why am I tormented due to seeing these sentient beings receiving just a small and vile gain and honor, and my own desires are being partially fulfilled? And next outline is analogy. Analogy or example. So example to illustrate that part of my wishes are accomplished. Another this outline is verse 82. It says, if relatives for whom you are caring and to whom you practice giving are able to find their own livelihood, why would you not be happy rather than angry? So the meaning of this verse is, if relatives for whom you are caring, if relatives for whom you are caring and to whom you must practice giving, so for example, one's parents, one's family members, one relatives, or the persons that who always help you, so and are able to find their livelihood without you having to give them things, then that means that those who help you, such as your relatives, your family members, your family members, parents, and so forth. So if they find their own livelihood without you having to give them things, then would you not be happy rather than angry? So you should be happy, and then you should be joyful at it, and then you should rejoice in them having found those means of livelihood. Then why are you angry? So you should be happy. So this is common. This happens in the society as well, just like those previous verses.
That all somebody, that's somebody, Mandina Chanji sing number, Chanji sing number enjoyed it. Teacher roll on Mandina, Yella Chanju, Devine, Kanji Shinju, Chodela, Chanju sing the color years.
Sajidi.
That's such somebody. Somebody can't do it. Rangi, never do but somebody, that she.
And next outline is, if you don't wish that, then minds of enlightenment will degenerate. If you do not wish that, then minds of enlightenment will degenerate. Under this outline is verse 83. It says, what kind of person wishes enlightenment for migrating beings if he does not wish for them to have even this? And where is there a mind of enlightenment in him who becomes angry at the wealth of others?
어디 강자 공부도 이 시간에 단답 되는 라보로 되죠. 와. 다시다 개나서 반면과 중세다 대대다 간다. 중세다 님바이나 다지르와 중세상 진도와는 문제나 다 보다 중세상 님바서 거와. 열라 문제 바이나 신체텔라 chanju toban de gaza de kashi sen anda sinje tanji to bi chanju ba to an de je su su chanju sen je ba ja ni de sinje de la nimba chungse ja ni na de la mun de ba china kawan ji so de gaza yin jin jo ba chen si chung lo ro de chung na ni ba de la chua je ba ina de la chua je ba ina en ro wa ta da ro yo su zo ba de chanju de tanji sen de ka yi ni sen ka wa yi ni lo ro de sinje tanji sanji ji ba to de ji sen je wo ma chen sen je 어디 가이 그래서 근데 지나다 장주 신경 받는 거です. 근데 그걸 차도 집안에 제대로 했다 되는
So the meaning of this verse is, what kinds of person wishes for sentient beings to attain enlightenment if he does not wish for migrating beings to have even the meager possessions of food, clothing, and the like? So we generate, so the practitioners generate the minds of enlightenment, wishing to attain the state of enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, right? And when once a practitioner generates such minds of enlightenment, but if he does not wish for sentient beings to have even the small possessions of food, clothing, and the like, then what kind of persons who generate the minds of enlightenment is this? And where is there a mind of enlightenment that wishes to place all sentient beings in enlightenment in him, who become angry at the trivial wealth of others? Since my minds of enlightenment will degenerate, therefore, for this, I should with my effort, then must abandon jealousy towards the gain and honor of others. Next outline is, it is inappropriate to be jealous of others' gain. Under this outline is verse 84. It says, whether he obtains it from him or whether it remains in the benefactor's house, or in either case, you shall get nothing. What is the use whether he is given something or not? So whether the enemy obtains food, clothing, and the like from a benefactor, or whether it remains in the benefactor's house, in either case, it is the same. You shall get nothing. What is the use of jealousy, whether he is given something or not? It is inappropriate. So why do you get jealous of others obtaining food, clothing, and the like from benefactor? So whether you jealous or not, then you shall get nothing anyway. So why are you being jealous of others' acquisition? So therefore, it is inappropriate to jealous of others' gain. Next outline is, it is inappropriate to discard my own good qualities. Under this outline is verse 85. It says, so why do I throw away my good qualities, merit, and faith? Tell me, why am I not angry for not holding what will be gained?
让就年把还就虽然是真说嘛，这上公司跟两年前吧，是吧？这就说嘛，是这样的话是，这上公司跟两年前吧，就是刚才上个年把推个就虽然也人吧，就是嘛这个就是个人用的是呢，工作的现在年把它控制啊，让个虽然就用了吧，年把推个觉得适应用的是呢，这让你去工作的用，工作的。工作되게 간다工作的让个간다年吧推个就사람 디서파 어바이나 사람 인데 지리가 송바 지리 송하자 대상 것은 연애 지로와 랑 인데 어떤 인데 대파 어바이나 그런 게年吧 推个就的东西是간다年吧让个就的把头的个让个인데头的个是让个인데头的生产那等于让个年吧 推个就사람 때 간다 마도와 라니를 초바이나 진짜데 라니를 초고 그래서 같이 초바이나 라니를 초고도 가르친 초고서 랑게베 세는 년바 퇴야기 줘다 지지 송하다 와 지지 송하다 대상 곳에 그냥 안에 들어서 네 정말 지금도 왔어 와 된정바 지금도 된정바 지는 년바 퇴야기 줘도 대가는 돈을 왔어 된정은 된 지금 어때까지 컨트롤하면 얘가 가 소랑아 고도사나 라니를 사고 왔어 라니를 왔어 The
meaning of this verse is, if I'm angry at the gain of others and wish gain for myself, then since the causes for the arisal of gain are my excellent qualities, such as merit, conduct, causing faith in householders or morality, and hearing of the Dharma. So the causes for the arisal of gain are my excellent qualities, such as guarding my morality, perfectly guarding my morality, hearing, contemplation, meditation on the Dharma, and so forth. So those are the causes for the arisal of gain. And all these are my excellent qualities. And then perfectly guarding morality, hearing, contemplation, and meditation on the Dharma, those are my excellent qualities, and then those are the causes for the arisal of gain. So why, through anger, do I throw them away? So here, the summary of this verse basically is summarized in the outline. It says, it is inappropriate to discard my own good qualities. So why, through anger, do I throw them away? Tell me, why am I not angry with myself for not holding the cause that will find me gain and for destroying it? So why, through anger, do I throw them away? So if you generate anger, then you will throw these excellent qualities, through these causes for the arisal of gain, we will throw them away. In other words, you destroy those causes for gain and destroy those excellent qualities, such as perfectly guarding the morality. So if you should get angry, you should get angry at oneself. One should get angry at oneself for not for not holding the cause that will find me gain. In other words, for destroying the cause that will find me gain and destroying it. Next outline is, it is appropriate to sorrow at one's negativities. It is inappropriate to be jealous of others' virtue. Under this outline is verse 86. Verse 86, it says, not only do you not have any sorrow for having committed negativities, do you wish to compete with others who have created merit?
내가 피수서 반주 저 베스나 피수서 받지만 레시죠. 가도 집. 그거와 비슷한 가도 집. 보다 던지지는 던지기 말했을 때 이런 말해서 그거와 던지는 이래요 말했을 때와
The meaning of this verse is, not only do you not have any sorrow for having committed past negativities, the cause for not finding gain and honor. So the causes for not finding gain and honor, such as those past negativities that I have committed, such as stealing, robbery, jealous of others' gain, and robbing others of their gains and so forth. So I have committed many past negativities, and do you wish to compete with others who have created merit previously and to be jealous while lacking tolerance? Doing so is inappropriate. So not only that you do not regret and feel sorrow for having committed past negativities, and again, you want to compete with others who have created merit. And again, you want to be jealous of others' gain while lacking tolerance. And doing so is inappropriate. Next outline is, disliking enemy doesn't benefit me. Under this outline, there is an opinion. It says, I shall be happy if harm were to occur to my enemy, and I shall be angry at hindrances to it. And in relation to this opinion is first two lines of verse 86. First two lines of verse 87. It says, even if your enemy is not joyful, what is there for you to be joyful about? So in response to this opinion, so he says, even if your enemy is not joyful and is unhappy, what is there for you to be joyful about? So when your enemy experiences suffering and is not happy about it, then what is there for you to be joyful about? For you are not benefited and you are harmed. So if your enemy, the one who harmed you before, the one who harmed you, then if they experience suffering and is not joyful at it and is unhappy about it, then why are you generate mental happiness mental happiness? Why are you happy about it, or why do you generate mental happiness at it? And if they free from such undesirable things, if they free from such suffering, then you should rejoice at it. You should rejoice at it when they're free from suffering. Then you should be happy about it, and then you should rejoice at it. Then, if you were to rejoice when they experience suffering and when they experience unhappiness, then you will not get any benefit, And also, on top of that, you will create negativities. Next outline is generating harmful intent towards the enemy doesn't harm the enemy. Under this outline is next two lines of verse 87. It says, your mind merely wishing did not cause him to be harmed. So your mind merely wishing, if only harm were to occur to my enemy, did not cause him to be harmed. So your mind merely think that, oh, if bad things happen to my enemy, so your thoughts itself did not harm your enemy. So since your desired aim was not even slightly fulfilled, anger is inappropriate. So if your harmful intention wishing bad things happen to my enemy, so itself will not cause my enemy unhappiness. It will not make my enemy's possessions or resources to decline, and it will not make my enemies to feel sick or to experience sickness and so forth. So, and your mere thoughts will not cause my enemy any. Sorry, my mere thoughts will not cause my enemy any harm, and not only that, my merits will decline through thinking in this way or through having such harmful intentions, and I will create negativities. So not only my desire aim, not only will my desire aim not fulfill, and on top of that, but also I will create negativities and cause my merits to decline. And under this, and next outline is, it is inappropriate to be joyful at harm occurring to my enemy. Under this outline is first two lines of verse 88. It says, even if his suffering is established due to your wish, what is there for you to be joyful about? So these first two lines of verse 88 is slightly different from verse 87. So here it says, even if the sufferings of the other party is established due to your wishing, may my enemy be ruined, what is there for you to be joyful about? Or there is not the slightest benefit. So just now we mentioned that your own wish, your own harmful intention, wishing bad things happen to your enemy, it will not cause your enemy any harm, right? So here in this verse 88, it says, even if your harmful intention may my enemy be ruined or bad things happen to my enemy, and the other party or the enemy really suffers because of your harmful intent, then what is there for you to be joyful about? For there is not the slightest benefit. So you will not, there's nothing to be joyful about. And then on top of that, oneself will create the negativities.
어디 올들가 어 대라 가와 지나다 길라 네바와 네바티나 가와 지나다 아니라 동아 첨부 전조 와세 이러와 다 가디 첨부 주시나 데레 포아 신치여서 녀문냐비 빠바이 치완지는 메시스 예전 생냐 공부양 냐이 소마 다 신예세 어다데 쇼로거든 와
Next outline is, if I hold it as something to be joyful about, it will become my cause of great suffering. Under this outline is next two lines of verse 88 and verse 89. It says, opinion, I shall be satisfied. Response, how could there be anything more ravaging than that? Having been held by this unbearable and sharp hook, cast by the fishermen of the afflictions, it is certain that I shall be cooked in the pots of sentient beings held by the hell guardians.
다 들어와 다 가데 베 랑게 자드 시고로와 랑게 자데라 다 네바추나 수수근 데바투 바데 이치마 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 다 들리베 네세 잡부 제바데고 수수 네세 잡부 시려고 하데 네세 잡부 제바데 따라하는 뭐랑 풍겨야지 다 데레베 두스 카야세 안다와 이게 상호 구노 넘바지 땅바이다 데레스 타우신바 좀먹기 차침버사 데레 두스 가와요 데리 상바이 랑 상비 상호 데라팅가 니로라 제제레세와 니로라 마치에 비제레 페나 냐바기 다 냐바기 페샤오라 다 냐바기 페나 다 간다 하장을 차세다 차도 시나면 차스나면 코로스나면 디왕이 답에 명무하기 다 냐스 자지기 숨어와 냐데 자지 숨에 다 냐데 쯔 가다 다 사야지 쯔 도와 다 추차오베 간다 소리야 쯔 데딘디베 제바이나 다 되긴 제부터 걸레고스나 다 빼나 제부터 됐은지 냐와 다 신제 아니 냐와라 빼다 간다 딘디기 남지 제부터 대라니 냐와라 빼나 다 간다 상기 빼다 초라서 받아 쪄서 뉴스로 오라 손에 다 대가 나시 빼 쩌니 빼 냐저가 나시 드리츠 그 간다 수고 등에 뭐 그랬어 냐 있으면 다 쩌게 된 맞아 레왕 두라 냐 있으면 서다 다 레왕 두라 레왕 냐 있으면 서기 다 아니자 무슨 쩌게 빼 능이 나한테 드리츠 이제 버와 다데 냐라 페이션 시고로와 나바텔 페이션 오다 데티와르시
So in relation to these verses, then there is an opinion. It says, if harm occurs to my enemy, since my wishes are fulfilled, I shall be satisfied. In response to this opinion, then how could there be anything more ravaging than generating that violent, harmful intent? So if you if you wish bad things to happen to you, bad things happen to my enemies or harm occurs to my enemy, and then this is a violent, harmful intent, is a very strong, harmful intent. So if one were to generate such violent, harmful intent, then what is more ravaging than that? What is more destroying than that? And what thought is worse than that? So you will proceed to the bad migrations. So through generating such harmful intent, one will create a cause to proceed, cause of the bad migrations. So for example, fishermen catch fish with iron hooks and then cook them. So out of the afflictions of attachment, jealousy, anger, and so forth, if fishermen were to catch fish with iron hooks and then cook them or cook them in a pot or to steam them, for example, then likewise, I shall definitely be caught by this unbearable and sharp iron hook of the negative actions of violent, harmful intent cast by the fishermen of the affliction, hatred, which is hatred. And then having been held by it is certain that I shall be put into the pots or cauldrons of sentient beings held by the hell guardians and then cooked. So I will be cooked in the pots or cauldrons of sentient beings of sentient beings hell, just like how I cooked the fish, just like how the fisherman cooked the fish in the pot, or steam, or cook or steam in the pot. And then, so so I will experience the great suffering in sentient beings hell. So sentient beings hell, which is established by the karmas of sentient beings. So then I will experience the sufferings of being cooked or put into the pots. Next outline is mere praise and reputation have no purpose. Under this outline, there is an opinion. It says, if my praise and fame are hindered, I shall be unhappy. In relation to this opinion are verse 90 and first 2 lines of verse 91. So it says, the honor of praise and fame will turn into neither merit nor life. It will turn into neither strength nor freedom from sickness for me, and also will not transform into physical happiness. If I were to understand my welfare, what is there in them that is my welfare? So the opinion says, if my praise and fame are hindered, I shall be unhappy. So not only the praise and fame towards me and towards my own side, such as my parents, my friends, and relatives, and so forth. So if mine and my own side's praise, if the praise and fame of if my praise and fame and also the praise and fame of my own side, such as my parents, are hindered, then I shall be unhappy. In other words, I shall get angry. So in response to this opinion, then he says, the honor of explicit praise and hidden fame will turn into neither merit nor life from among the 5 objects desired by beings. And it will turn into neither the cause of developing my strength nor the cause of freedom from sickness, and also will not transform into physical happiness. Hence, if I were to understand how to analyze what will become my welfare and what will not, then what is there in praise and fame that is my welfare? There is not the slightest in them. So, if my praise and fame are hindered, then I shall be unhappy. Then what is there to be unhappy about? Why do you get angry? Because this praise and fame will not benefit me in my future lives, such as the cause of yeah. So that it says merit nor life from among the five objects, right? So merit, such as the merit in my future lives, will not decline due to that, and then is not going to benefit me in my future lives. This praise and fame, so it's not going to benefit me in future lives. It will not do any good to my merits, and it will not bring any benefit to these lives as well, such as developing strength, such as good health, physical health, and etc. Or it will not make me live long and etc. It will not make my lifespan longer. So why am I get angry at hindrances towards my praise and fame? So it is not going to benefit at getting angry at hindrances towards my praise and fame is not going to do me is not going to benefit me at all. So why do you get angry? Next outline is, it is appropriate to hold mental happiness as desired aim. And under this outline is the next two lines of verse 91. If I desire just mental happiness, then I should devote myself to gambling and so forth, and also drinking. So even though it's just two lines, very short, and however, it contains great meaning in it. So if my desire aim is just mental happiness, so if your desire aim is just some small mental happiness, don't talk. Your desire aim is not aiming for some big thing or big purposes, and your desire aim is just a small and temporary mental happiness. Then I must devote myself to gambling, singing, dancing, others women, and so forth, and also drinking. So if your desire aim is that small, just a small and temporary mental happiness, then it's very easy. You can just engage in gambling, those causes of suffering, such as gambling, because through gambling, if you were to win a very small amount, such as 10 or 15 ringgit, for example, then you experience some small and short happiness, right? Temporary happiness. Similarly, singing, dancing, others women, and so forth, and drinking alcohol, beer, and etc. Then through engaging in these activities, the causes of suffering, then you will experience this small and short mental unhappiness as well. Next outline is, mere praise and reputation have no purpose. Under this outline is verse 92. He says, if for the sake of fame I lose my wealth or get myself killed, what can mere words do then? Once I'm dead, to whom will they give pleasure? The meaning of this verse is, thus not only are they just meaningless, so these are the meaningless purposes, but also if for the sake of the fame of magnanimity, I give my wealth exhaustively, or out of the desire for fame as a hero, I engage in battle and get myself killed, then what can mere words of praise and fame do then? Once I'm dead, to whom will praise and fame give pleasure? I should reflect on this well. So if for these meaningless purposes, then such as for the sake of fame, then I give things to others, and then for the sake of for the sake of fame, then as a hero, then I go to war and etc., and then get myself killed. So if I get myself killed for these purposes, then what can these mere words of praise do then? So there's no objects to give pleasure to, right? So it means that you wanted these fame and reputations in order for oneself to experience the happiness, right? So if I get killed because of these meaningless purposes, then these words of praise and fame will not give anyone pleasure, right? So since I, the one who desire for this praise and fame, is dead. So then to whom will praise and fame give pleasure? No one. So that's I should reflect on this well. It is inappropriate to aim for these meaningless purposes. Next outline is, being unhappy when they degenerate is like a child. Under this outline is verse 93. It says, when their sandcastles collapse, children howl in despair. Likewise, when my praise and reputation decline, my mind becomes like a child. The meaning of this verse is, for example, when their sandcastles collapse, children howl in despair. So kids for fun, then they build sandcastles, and when it collapses, then the children cry in despair. Then likewise, when my praise and reputation decline, out of unhappiness, my mind becomes like a child. So then when my praise and reputation decline, then I feel unhappy. Then my mind is like a child. My mind is like a childish mind, and then a mind of foolish, a mind without intelligence, without wisdom. So if when my praise and reputation decline, if I am unhappy about it, then my mind is like a childish mind. Next outline is, it is inappropriate to attach to the joy of those who praise me. Under this outline, there are two verses, verse 94 and 95. Since short-lived sounds are without mind, they cannot possibly think of praising me. It makes others happy that fame is counted as a cause of joy. Whether this praise is directed at myself or someone else, how shall I be benefited by others' joy? Since that joy is theirs alone, I shall not obtain even a part of it. So the meaning of this verse is, furthermore, if I am happy due to praise directed at me, then I should not be happy at short-lived sounds of praise. So in other words, then even if others praise me, I shouldn't attach to this praise. And since they are without mind and cannot possibly think we should praise him, being happy at them is inappropriate. So if you were to attach to the words of praise, so to that sounds of praise or that words of praise, then that sounds of praise or words of praise itself, they are not without mind, and they are without mind and cannot possibly think we should praise him. So being happy at them is inappropriate. So even then there is an objection. It says, but when I'm praised, it makes others, the ones making the praise, happy. So if others praise me, others feel happy. Then in response to this objection, if that joy of those making the fame and praise is counted as a cause of joy, then whether this praise is directed at myself or someone else, how shall I be benefited by the joy of others who make the praise? So if you were to say that when others praise me, others feel happy, right? So that joy, when they praise me, they feel the joy. They feel the joy. That joy is to be experienced in the continuum of others. So what could that joy of others benefit me? Then 4, since that joy in others continual is a mind of theirs alone, I shall not obtain even a part of it. Next outline is, if it is an object to strive for because others are joyful, it is appropriate to make all beings joyful. I repeat, if it is an object to strive for because others are joyful, it is appropriate to make all beings joyful. Under this outline, there are two sub-outline. The first one is the actual. And under this outline is verse 96. It says, if I'm happy due to his happiness, then I must act similarly towards all. And if this was so, then why am I unhappy when others are happy due to joy?
다 되게 대화 이루어 이제 대화 신 대화 이비 다 대화 지구나 다라 대화 이나 다 지고 그나 대화 지바해서 지고 그나 대나시 대다 대 지고 대다 대다 대화 샤기나 지시 이나 대바텔라 되지텔라 때 가와이 대화 가와이 가와티스 가와이 예 대화 주나 가와이 예 대화 주바이나 다게 이미 대화와 다그 대화 가르치는 제보했어 와 대한 다 지담 무대와 다 지담 무대와 이 대화 제보です다 무대와 가진 제보です그래서 대화 제보です제보です와 이제 뭐랄까 대지의 대화에 개 대화이나 다 대화 제는 거와 근데 대다 지발에 됐구나 지발에서 거와 그래서 무대와 제보가 놓았어 와 이거와 제는 무대와 제대로 다 제보 놓았어.
The meaning of this verse is, if because of the happiness of the one who makes the praises, I am happy due to the happiness of another, then I must act similarly towards all beings in being happy due to their joy. So the meaning of this verse is, if others are happy, so now we are talking about the one who makes the praises are happy when they praise oneself, right? So if others are happy, if I'm happy because of others, because of their happiness or others' happiness, then I should also be happy towards. I shall act in the same way towards all beings in being happy due to their joy. So if I'm happy because of others' happiness, then I should act similarly or in the same way towards all sentient beings in being happy due to their joy. Then if these were necessarily so, then why am I unhappy when, due to the joy of others, that is, of those who praise my enemies, others are happy, and I must be mentally happy as well. So if others praise me, then they are happy. Then I'm happy. I'm joyful at this. I'm joyful at others' happiness when they praise me. Then I should act in the same way towards all sentient beings or towards others who praise my enemies as well, because they are happy. They are happy when they praise my enemies as well. So, and why am I unhappy about it?
어디 올들다 랑떼바 가와시 이쪽에서 다는 때도시 랑기 가와 제저로 해야 되다 느낌이 시비ጨ바 보내세요.
Next outline is, being happy about the praise to oneself is only the behavior of the childish. Under this outline is verse 97. It says, therefore, the happiness that arises from thinking I'm being praised is thus incorrect. It is only the behavior of the childish.
Dela gawade ta nda shipa uchi da chiba res wa abe putu da abe putu ya bo so tengo ne tera ta wa ina putu ga wa gawa che wa o de ji de shi de rang ji la gawa che ba de kanda ngone thone che ba ina a cha se pya res chapa de ke wa de putu mo mo shi ra gawa shi gawa che ba ina cha se pya ro res wa cha se pya ro wa o de na shi ta shipa pu na shi res ro da.
The meaning of this verse is, therefore, if I analyze the happiness that arises in my continuum from thinking I'm being praised by others, such as others praise me, being good in studies, having good behaviors and so forth, then since it lacks even the slightest essence, such mere praise is thus incorrect as a cause of joy. This joy is only the behavior of the childish. So if I were to feel happy or joyful at others' praise when they praise my good studies, my good behaviors, and so forth, then then this act of happiness when others praise me is like the behavior of the childish. So it's like, for example, if a child, if a kid is is good in studies, then you praise that child, then that kid feel happy, right? So then if I being praised by others for my good studies, behaviors, and so forth, then this act of happiness is just like the behavior of the childish. And when you feel happy about these praises, then what follows after the happiness is attachment. So you attach to that, then you attach to that happiness. Then all these are like the behavior of the childish. If you were to analyze it properly, then you will find that that happiness that arises from praise from others' praise lacks even the slightest essence.
그 담보도 사실 담보도 다 떼달라 신이 내가 근지 받으러 아 내가 근지 받 맞아 아 떼던 지지를 주어 머리 이제 가서 다 떼서 다는 영화시 얘네로 얘네 또한 지바시스 얘네 데라 차로다 무슨 소방한 지바시스 쇼로가 디마 쉐미스.
Next outline is clinging to praise and fame generates all faults. Under this outline, so there is an opinion. So it says, I should not get angry. Sorry, under this outline, then there is a line before that verse. It says, it is inappropriate for me to get angry with those who destroy my fame, praise and fame. So as in the commentary, it says, I should not get angry with those who destroy my praise and fame. So in other words, it is inappropriate for me to get angry at those who destroy my praise and fame. And then under this line is verse 98. It says, praise and the like distract me and also destroy my disillusionment. I should start to envy those who have excellent qualities and success is destroyed.
다디게 된다 데로 간다. 당원서 간다. 떼어라 힘바이나 떼어받아 잡아라 다 하자 해나 네가 그 지그레스 네가 지그레스 뭐 네가 지그레스 다 떼어받아 잡아 네가 지나가서 떼어받아 잡아라서 봐 된디게 정말 이때는 힘바지스나 그 다는 거다 다게 세데 게임이 발아 파이는 그랬어 다게 세데 게임이 발아 파이는 다 다게 세 게임이 발아 파이네 내 간다 난 거의 동하라就是引就你就把钱그랬어 와 다게 세데 게임이 발아 파이네 난 거의 동하 인조시 좋아라 지 받치는 그랬어 지 받치고 다 신유대다 내발아 차도다 그 장기 교와다 신지 필수 소발아 지 받치 그랬어 지 받치고 지 받치 때 내가 그지 난 중국에 간다 내가 참만 중요하게 때 줘대리했어 자 그거
So this outline is clinging to praise and fame generates all faults. And under this outline, then the first line it says, I should not get angry with those who destroy my praise and fame because then the reasons are mentioned in the verse in verse 98. So it says, praise and the like distract me and also destroy my disillusionment. I start to envy those who have excellent qualities and success is destroyed. So this is the reasons why clinging to praise and fame generates all faults. So yeah. So yeah. So continue. So I should not get angry with those who destroy my praise and fame because. So then it explains the meaning of this verse. Because gaining praise, fame, and the like distract me from the objects of virtue or virtuous objects of observation, whereby they also destroy my disillusionment with respect to cyclic existence. So in other words, they destroy my disenchantment with respect to cyclic existence towards samsara or towards samsaric suffering and so forth. Then I start to envy others who have excellent qualities and my virtues and the success of others are destroyed or excellences of others are destroyed.
들어와. 대신 다그 뜻은 희시 강다 니네 봐. 내가 다는 선도 동안 수지 휴미 남지. 어디인도 어디만 디디션스.
Yeah. So because gaining praise, fame, and the like distract me from the objects of virtue. So when we gain praise, fame, and the like, and then we attach to it, then it distracts me from the objects of virtue. Then it destroys my disillusionment or disenchantment with respect to secular existence. Therefore, attachment towards praise, fame, and the like are the sources of all faults. So it's the source of all faults. Attachment towards this praise, fame, and so forth. And next outline is hindrances to that stops my bad migration. Under this outline is verse 99. It says, therefore, are not those who are closely involved in destroying my praise and the like also engaged in protecting me from falling into the unfortunate realms? They touch to thằng bé chế về chiến kỳ ngã là So the meaning of this verse is, therefore, are not those persons who are closely involved in destroying my praise, fame, and the like also engaged in protecting me from falling into the unfortunate realms? Why do I get angry at them? So this outline is hindrances to my fame and my praise and my fame that stops my bad migration. So those persons who closely involved in destroying my praise, fame, and the like means that those enemies or those persons who obstruct my praise, obstruct my fame, reputation, and so forth. So they intently obstruct my praise, fame, and those who single-pointedly destroy my praise, fame, and so forth, or obstruct my praise, fame, and so forth. Are they not protecting me from falling into the unfortunate realms? So why do I get angry at them? So they are actually protecting me. They are actually protecting me from falling into the unfortunate realms of bad migrations. So why do I angry at those who protect me from falling into the bad migrations? So next outline is, it is inappropriate to get angry at those hindering my praise and So it is inappropriate to get angry at those hindering my praise and so forth, because they free me from samsaric existence. Under this outline is verse 100. It says, I who seek freedom do not need to be bound by material gain and honor. So why should I be angry with those who free me from this bondage?
다음에 간다 시발에 넘버 2에 타바다 탄지 침바 된다 닝게지 해서 봐. 다네 시발에 좋아 좋아한다 받아. 타바다 탄지 침바 된다 닝게지. 된다 닝게지 송장 다 니보다 꾸들라서 받아서 시발 칭화라 봐. 칭시리스. 또 시발 니보다 꾸들라서 받아서 시발 칭시리. 예, 뭐 말했어. 그 간다데 니보다 꾸들라서 대단하게 계시나 다마 시바 호알마 찜발에 좋아지 그랬어. 좋아. 시바 호알마 찜바텔마 좋아지 그래. 나는 그저 간절히 좋그래. 나 간다 시바 호알이야 좋아지 그래. 좋아지 그랬어. 좋아. 시바 호알 좋아지 그래. 아무도도 되나 되더라. 나는 간다 시바에 파 좋아 되는 얘기지다. 시바에 좋아지다. 타바다 터지지 공발이야. 돼야 되는 얘기지. 시바에 좋아한데 봐. 타바다 터지지 공발이야. 돼야 되는 얘기지. 근데 되는 얘기 간사도 믿지라 다 가르고 그래서는 년바다 꾸들라서 받아서 바로 그래서만 근데 시발은 진실이었어. 시발은 진실. 서로 하자 괜찮다 시발은 진실이었어. 그리고 말했어. 근데 되게 년바 꾸들라서 잡아서라 개체바지 정말이나 그러와 서로 개체바 정말 이때서라 드라마리 서로 드라마리스. 드라마리 이 소소가 코아다냐 소고 동아리야 좋아진 게 차들었어. 그죠? 야 찜발이야 좋아진 게 진짜 또 고통이 작아 있고서 가초리스 그래서 가초리스 좋아요 말했어. 좋아. 그리고 그것을 가와치거든. 좋아 가와치스. 좋아 가와치스. 자기도 상호야 뭐 마땅하는 가서 스스로 때라서라 배 개체의 시퍼 조지레스 라우디 그래서 상호야 뭐 마땅하는 가서 이제 깔아 가고 좋아. 스스로 배 lang사 공존하는 거라 다 많지야기. 이 상황에 보면 담바이나 다 스스로 니바 그때 나서 봤더니 리터야라 뭐지 지기지 중바이나 한국에 내가 여러.
So the meaning of this verse is, furthermore, I who seek freedom from cyclic existence do not need to be bound through being chained to cyclic existence by material gain and honor. So I who seek freedom from cyclic existence, so in other words, I who seek liberation from samsara, and I who seek the state of omniscience do not need to be bound through being chained to cyclic existence by clinging to material gain and honor. So through clinging to material gain and honor, then I'm bound to cyclic existence. So I, a person who seek for liberation, who seek liberation, who seek freedom from cyclic existence, who seek the states of omniscience, then do not need to be bound by this clinging to material gain and so forth in samsara. So why should I be angry with those who act as hindrances to them and free me from this bondage? I should be happy. So why do I angry at those hindrances, those who obstruct my fame, praise, and so forth? So since they free me from this bondage, so they are not those who hinder my praise and fame are not my enemy. In fact, they free me from this bondage, samsaric bondage. So I should be happy. So there is no need, I should be happy and do not get angry at them. So because they free me from this bondage. So if we do not think properly that those who hinder my fame, praise, and so forth are in fact not my enemy, and free me from this free me from samsara, or free me from this bondage. So if I do not think properly, then immediately when someone hinder my fame and praise, then immediately we will get angry, right? Next outline is, it is inappropriate to get angry because they destroy my door to suffering. It is inappropriate to get angry because they destroy my door to suffering. And under this outline is verse 101. It says, why should I be angry at the very doors that do not let me in, which are like Buddhas bestowing blessings to those who wish to enter the chamber of suffering? So the meaning of this verse is, also, why should I be angry at the very doors that do not let me into the chamber of suffering, which are like Buddhas bestowing blessings on those who wish to enter the chamber of suffering? So I, who wish to enter the chamber of suffering, so meaning that I, due to my attachment towards praise, gain, honor, and so forth, then a person who wish to enter the chamber of suffering. So who wish to enter the chamber of suffering through clinging to this praise, fame, and so forth. So, and those enemies who hinder my praise, fame, gain, honor, and so forth, then they are like Buddhas bestowing blessings. Why do we say that they are like Buddhas bestowing blessings? Because they close the door. They close my door to chamber of suffering. So chamber of suffering, such as hell dungeon, such as the cage of animal realms and so forth. So if one were to fall into the animal realms, and one is locked in a cage, for example. So this chamber of suffering, cage of suffering, the hell dungeon, the suffering hell dungeon, and so forth. So when they hinder my praise and fame, honor, gain, and so forth, then that I attach to, then it closes. They close my door to these sufferings of lower realms. So then they are like Buddhas bestowing blessings on me who wish to enter the chamber of suffering. So since they are my great friends and who are very kind to me, then why do I get angry at them? I should be happy.
단지 집이 취지 간다 계시보다 간다 좋아버리나 근데 선은 계시지스 결랑 좋아버리는데 이제 좀 같은 의미나서 결랑 다는 의미 삼세 쇼가 진도와 어떤 것도 비슈니스 그죠?
Okay. So next outline is abiding in the supreme of fortitude. Abiding in the supreme of fortitude, and under this outline, so he says it is inappropriate to even get angry at hindrances. So it is inappropriate before the verse 102. Then it says it is inappropriate to get angry at hindrances to worldly beings, but then continue with verse 102. It says, saying this hinders my merit, with him too it is incorrect to be angry. If there is no fortitude similar to patience, should I not abide in that?
sepa tela nig maris kanda tela choba ina sepa nig maris gowa mani wasna dikido ya kanda tela kanda sepa tela ni batwa ni basun ni guwa sunza tela choji maris choba ina tela su senam tela ni wa ina senam tela ni wa ina choba sepa su shiwa choba sepa su ma ni ji yese ni tela choji maris kanda that Kichibaina Senada, Jimba that String Sabaton, the Senate in Kichibaina, that the Trojan Maris Lova. That the Tros Namas, that's the name of the Don Gurva. Citizen Senada, Carnivore, the Jibatan Senado, Don the chance of Doja Gurva.
So the Troina, the Sosogi Gate Euro, Sosogi Sonam Gate Euro.
That's what the Jimbaton Senate, Citizen Senate Euro. That's also typical that yet that the Kichibaina, the Tela Chobaina, the Chobaina, that's a song. It gets at the John over it, Sena Jimbato gets at the John over it. This also the Sena John Dua, Sena Dua, or teacher was that in the try to separate someone Ashishi, they can't tell Kanda, that's Shiba, but to the neighborhood. Yes, Sibika to the neighborhood, Sibika to the neighborhood, the Trojan man, yes.
So before this verse, then it says it is inappropriate to get angry at hindrances to worldly things, right? So just now talk about the fame, gain, and so forth. But then 102, it says this hinders my merit. With him too, it is incorrect to be angry if there is no fortitude similar to patience. Should I not abide in that? So it means that it is inappropriate for me to get angry at hindrances to worldly beings, to get angry at those who create obstacle to my worldly gains or worldly things. But if I were to get angry, saying this enemy hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth, then with him too, it is incorrect to be angry. So it is incorrect to get angry at those who hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth. So then you change the direction. So first is talking about the worldly things, right? So here it talks about those who hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth. Therefore, is okay, is correct or appropriate for me to get angry. Then to answer that, it is inappropriate to get angry at even at those enemy who hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth, because when seeking merit, so when seeking merit, it refers to oneself who seek merit, a person, who seek merit. If there is no other fortitude similar and equal to the cultivations of patience when seeking merit, should I not abide in that patience? Is very correct to abide in that. It means that a person, who seek merit, so and there is no fortitude like patience, so previously also mentioned that there is no fortitude like patience, right? So if I were a person like me who seek merit, if I do not cultivate patience towards enemies, who hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth, then my anger will destroy my own merit. So if I do not if I do not be patient with those enemies, even those enemies who hinders my merit of generosity, and then my anger, my generations, my arisings of anger at those enemies will destroy my own merit of generosity. If I get angry at them, then my anger will destroy my own merit of generosity and so forth. So therefore, I should abide in patience, and I should not get angry at those enemies, even those enemies who hinders my merit of generosity, ethics, and so forth. The Sajidi, so they tell a gate, na? 지난 이 장이 수남기 바지도 교와서 대인에 대한 바지도 교기를 바지도 미교로 제가 개체나 계실라 Tela gate chena the towaina re towaina yeah, so if I get angry at those at hindrances to those, then it will become an obstacle to my own merits. And so if I get angry at those who hinders those such as the merit of generosity and so forth, then it will become an obstacle to my own merit. And under this outline is verse 103. It says, if by my own fault I am not patient with this, then it is only I myself hindering involvement in the cause of merit. So the meaning of this verse is, if by my own fault of strong anger, I'm not patient with this enemy, then, if I get angry at this involvement in the cause of marriage, of being patient with this enemy, then it is only I myself who am hindering marriage, not the other party. So due to my own faults of strong anger, or predominant anger, then I'm not patient with this enemy. Then if I were to get angry at those who hinder my merit of generosity, patience, and so forth, then so if I were to get angry at them, so if you analyze properly, so those enemies who hinder my merit of generosity, patience, and so forth, they are not my enemy. So they are not the one who are actually hindering my own merit. They are the cause of merit. They are the cause of my merit of patience. So they are the cause of merit of my patience. So why do I get angry at those cause of merit of patience? Look, because why do I get angry at the cause of merit of patience? The one who actually hinder my own merit is myself, my own thoughts of strong anger. So because of my strong anger, I'm not patient with them. Then my own anger destroying my own merit, hindering my own merit, not the other party. The other party, those who hinder my merit of generosity and so forth, they are in fact the causes of merit of patience. They are my cause of merit of patience. They are not hindering my merit. Who is actually hindering my own merit? My own anger, myself. Next outline is, they are not hindrances to merit. Under this outline, there are two division or the sub outline. The first one is general indication, and under this general indication is verse 104. It says, if without it something does not occur, and if with it it does come to be, then since this would be the cause of it, how can I call it a hindrance? So the meaning of this verse is, not only that, if without the harmer, the merit of patience does not occur, and if with the enemy, who is the harmer, the merit of patience does come to be, then since this very enemy would be the cause that definitely accompanies that merit, how can I call him a hindrance? It is incorrect that the cause of benefits is a hindrance. So if we want the merit of patience to arise, then we need the enemy, the harmer. And without the enemy, the harmer, then there is no way that we can accumulate the merit of patience. So therefore, these enemy, the harmers, they are the cause for my merit of patience. They are not the enemy who harms my merit of patience, and they are not the enemies who obstructs my merit of patience. In fact, these enemies are benefactors who benefit me in generating or in accumulating the merit of patience. So therefore, how could you call him call the harmer who benefit me in generating the merit of patience a hindrance. So because they are not harming me, in fact, they are benefiting me. They are helping me to generate the merit of patience. Without them, then there is no way I can generate the merit of patience. So therefore, it is inappropriate to get angry at them. Next outline is establishing it through analogy. So the meaning of this outline is establishing that they are not hindrances to my merits through analogy. Under this outline is verse 105. It says, a beggar who came at a time was not a hindrance to generosity. And I cannot say that those who give ordination are hindrances to becoming ordained. So the meaning of this verse is, so it is just as, for example, a beggar who came at a time when I had something and was keen to give it away was not a hindrance to generosity. So when I have gifts, when I have resources or things to be given away, such as those resources, objects of enjoyments, and so forth. So when I have these objects to be given away, and then together with an enthusiastic attitude to give things away. So when a beggar came at that time, then this beggar is the assistance to my practice of generosity, and this beggar is not an obstacle to my generosity, my practice of generosity. And similarly, if a person wish to be ordained, and then whether to receive the novice vow or to receive the fully ordination vows, and then those abbots and acharyas, so those abbot masters there is a requirement for the ordination ceremony. So we must need at least 4 sanghas, so abbots, masters, and so forth. So and these masters, abbot, monks, and so forth are not a hindrance to one's ordination. So if one wish to receive ordination, and these master, abbot, sanghas, then they are not hindrance to my ordinations. In fact, they are the assistants. They are the cause conditions for my ordination. So through this analogy, the analogy of beggar came at a time, and abbot and masters who give ordinations to those who wish to be ordained, they are assistants. They are assistant to my practice of generosity, for example, and then they are the assistants to my becoming ordained. So they are assistant, they are friends, and then they are not the person who hinder or obstructs my practice of generosity. And then these master and abbots, they are not obstructing me from becoming ordained as well. So similarly, through this example, establish that those hinder my merit, such as the merit of generosity and patience, they are in fact not a hindrance to my practice. They are friends, they are assistants, they are cause of my merit, and they are my spiritual friends, and not hindrance. So through this analogy through these analogies of beggar and receiving ordinations, then to establish the point that those who hinders my gain, fame, honor, respect, and so forth, and those who hinder my merit of generosity and those who hinder my merit of generosity and patience, they are not hindrances. In fact, they are the causes for the arising of my own patience, for my merit of patience, and so forth. So therefore, those hinders my fame, gain, honor, and so forth, and those who hinder my merit of generosity, patience, morality, and so forth, they are not hindrances. And in fact, they are the causes for my merit of patience. And then through this analogy, establishing this point. So then we stop here. We conclude with that. We conclude.
We have a question. One question.
Yeah, so one question.
Ishila, from the verses that we studied today, giving praise is actually no good. It generates all faults. So praising is no
praise.
Praise, because it said praise and fame to generate all faults. 6, the verse, right?
Yes,
now, in earlier class, chapter 5, we said we should praise people when we see people do good. But if we praise them, then it create, in a way, it causes them to generate more faults. That's what we study today. So meaning, we should not praise others, because our praise, although it's good intention, when the person receives the praise, they create all the faults that we just heard just now. So I want to ask Geshe-la, is there a contradiction that praise is no good, so we shouldn't praise people? Because praise will cause them degenerate. So what should we, and in the verse 5 point, earlier 5.57, it said you must praise others when you see them do good. So Geshe-la, please explain.
Ini niga tukju je sum saji di tura la xianbie nieba gun jiebarwa. So one of the outline, right, you mentioned is clinging to praise and fame generate all faults, right? So did you get that?
6.98, yes.
Clinging to praise and fame generates all faults, yeah. You get that, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. And the kaisna de tura la xianbie nieba gun 记吧咯，也不更记吧咯啊，因为的那我说的明显的啦，的对吧？对啦，当然有嘛的，还是我说的显啦对啦当外呢，因为的对啦的也吧更记个人啥，我说明显的啦的对啦当外呢，明显的给也吧看送吧点说，因为的也吧更的帕鲁布啦的记个人啥，点那我说的。mi shinda la de tura tang yo ma re sine nga zo de liu nga ba lang lo la yang mi shinda gi yuan den de tong wa na de tura tang go re de ne na de ge wa cha ma re bes
다 처럼 치고 치는 샤머들이 떠다 또는 내가 지를 왜 말다 떠다 또는 내가 현차지나 내가 지금 요래서 이제 내가 받치고 싶어요 뭐저 라미 구수 돌아 선이나 그 콜라 때가 수마 때가 돌아 때가서 때가 열어 때가 땅을 때가라 현바지 지고 열어 뭐 현차 되어 게 내가 빈지고 그래서 때가 라고 때가 가도 좋아 뭐 때가 동안에 내가 빈지를 왜 말다 이제 봐 쉬어
So the meaning of this verse or this outline itself, and then it doesn't mean that praise and fame generates all faults. It means that clinging to praise and fame generates all faults. So you must draw the line between these two. Praise and fame generates all faults, and clinging to praise and fame generates all faults. So here is not talking about praise and fame generates the faults in others. It's clinging to it, then will generate faults. Yeah. So when we talk about praise, then we praise the good qualities of the holy body, speech, and mind. So those are praises. But and then praise itself, if we were to cling to those praises, then it will generate all faults. So this is the meaning of these verses and the meaning of this outline as well.
显差件还是这块就是从到要让多呢显差件外呢显差个件
明显的给俺老的都让当外呢的显差件外呢
俺家件了不弄了要让多呢是说被
明显的给俺老都让当了
哦我的这是说被呢包把钱俺家件俺头部是不是俺学的上俺家包把假设参马件是呢这边也不跟结果的是我你老给就是我当的你不要嘛要让多呢
So when others praise oneself, so when others praise me, for example, then that praising itself will not generate all these faults. Is my attachment towards this praise of others, my pride and my arrogance arises in relation to others' to this praise towards me will generate all faults. So you must draw the line between these two. Mere praise and fame generates all faults as according to what you said, and clinging to praise and fame generates all faults.
I'm just thinking we create a cause for them to cling to the praise that we give them. Anyway, understand. Thanks.
So 显了得多少单位呢？显给牙给堂的显恰给九恰的啥？
자그 말을 내서 얘가 더 자그 말을 해. 이 강가에
강조显了多少单位呢？显给的播报的给啥？
여바이나 때 연대 연주지 있는 때라 당사지 여바이나 현사 제거 말했어. 맨주지네 그거 제거 했어.
If you praise someone who possesses these good qualities, because you praise others because when you say you see good qualities in others and you praise, right? So if the person you praise actually possess these good qualities, they will not generate this attachment, arrogance, and so forth. And the person that you praise to who do not possess these good qualities, then will arrogance, pride, and attachment will arise. So don't praise me, otherwise then I will generate.
No, Geshe-la, not. Thank you, Geshe-la, for clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, so then, Geshe-la conclude with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, to have excellent health, and may all their enlightened activities accomplish instantaneously and spread in all directions. We also dedicate these fruits of virtue to our beloved teacher, Kapsil Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche's holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously without any obstacle. We also dedicate these fruits of virtue to world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail throughout the world. May wars, conflicts, they are getting worse and worse, and disaster, natural disaster, those disaster caused by the four elements such as flood and etc., earthquake and etc. So pandemic and diseases be pacified immediately. Begewati tendang ruwa kun la kambe dang kepa jisun lo sang dawayi tembe nyingbo rindu se je jo senjo rinpo je ma kepa na ki kyu ji kepa nyama me bayang kone kondo pewa jo bawe jita kemba dang kundo sambo de yang de shin de ta kungi jesu da lo je kewa di da tam je rap tu ngo tong yi tawa rinpo je ma kepa na ki kyu ji ngwa me bayang kone kondo pewa jo rimi tawa rinpo je ma kepa na ki kyu ji kepa nyama me bayang kone kondo pewa jo 인제 송도 주베랑 지지세세 간진된 의견 차나 비모 땡진 가져라 대소 진들로 조 간데 벤데 말로바 갈레 중에 삼베 이진노 가데 수메 땡진 가져라 소와 대소 도시를 조조 드마게사 예랑 조 로상게 왕셔세 교바제 란자 신게 개요 말로베 데데 멤버 도베게레 조요 조조베 투데 림보지 시당 두베 진신베 와라 수수소베 고자진 수메 지준 라마소와데 벤데 말로 조베 공지부 게메 된다마교 조와이 텔라지도 젬버세베모 시와시 re bang we dang chu sun ge se xin la dang ge se nang ge tu ge la bo je lu me de me yang du sa be du ge sa du je be du nyu xie jo pe bo we xin gan de pen dang de wa ma le jun we ne che re se wa ten sin ge se ge sha be si de pa du thank you ji